Most guys think becoming a morning person requires months of suffering through early alarms and cold showers. Wrong. I'm going to show you the exact 4 biological levers that can reset your circadian clock in just 3 days. This isn't about hustle culture or grinding at 4 a.m. to prove your worth. This is about understanding your biology well enough to choose when you operate at your best. By the end, you'll have a concrete stacking protocol you can start tomorrow that works with your nervous system, not against it. And if you stay until the end, I'll reveal the evening hack that makes screens 50% less damaging to your sleep, something most productivity content never mentions. Welcome back to Deeper Dudes. But first, let's talk about why most men are exhausted, dragging themselves out of bed and wondering why they can't just become the early riser they want to be. You set your alarm for 6 a.m. with the best intentions, you hit snooze 4 times, you finally roll out of bed feeling like you got hit by a truck. You chug coffee just to feel halfway human, and by 2 p.m. you're crashing hard, reaching for another cup, telling yourself tonight will be different. But then 11 p.m. rolls around, you're on your phone or watching Netflix, and suddenly it's 1 a.m. again. The cycle repeats. Research shows that over 60% of adults report feeling tired most days of the week, and the number one factor is misaligned circadian rhythms. Your body is fighting you because you're sending it mixed signals every single day. And here's the truth nobody talks about. We're taught that sleep schedules are about willpower, about discipline, about just forcing yourself to get up earlier. What a load of crap. Your wake time isn't controlled by your alarm clock. It's controlled by a cluster of neurons sitting a few centimeters above the roof of your mouth called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master circadian clock. This tiny structure generates an intrinsic rhythm that's about 24.2 to 24.3 hours long, slightly longer than Earth's rotation. Every single day, your brain has to reset this clock to match the 24-hour day. And when you don't give it the right signals, it drifts. You become a shift worker in your own life, and your body has no idea when to be alert or when to shut down. I know this because I lived it. For years, I'd stay up until 2 or 3 a.m. working, scrolling, convincing myself I was productive. I'd wake up at 10 or 11, feeling guilty, behind, like the day was already lost. I tried every productivity hack, every morning routine, every alarm app that makes you solve math problems. None of it stuck, because I was fighting my biology instead of working with it. Then I learned about zeitgebers, the external cues that entrain your circadian rhythm, and everything changed. But resilience isn't about forcing yourself into a mold. It's about understanding the system. And here's exactly how to reset your clock in 3 days, using 4 powerful biological timekeepers, ranked by their strength. Strategy 1. Bright light exposure. This is the single most powerful signal to your circadian clock, and most guys are getting it completely wrong. Here's why it matters. Your eyes contain specialized retinal cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. These aren't the cells you use to see images. They're ancient light detectors that communicate directly with your suprachiasmatic nucleus through a dedicated neural pathway. When bright light, especially blue-rich morning sunlight, hits these cells, they send a massive wake-up signal to your brain. This signal suppresses melatonin, increases cortisol in a healthy way, and tells every cell in your body that it's daytime. Without this signal, your clock drifts later and later. Here's the system. Within 30 minutes of your target wake time, get outside. Not through a window, outside. Look toward the sun, not directly at it, but in the general direction of sunlight. No sunglasses. Corrective lenses are fine. Stay out for at least 5 to 10 minutes. On cloudy days, you need longer, maybe 20 minutes, because the light intensity is lower. This isn't optional. This is the foundation. When I started doing this, the first morning felt ridiculous. I stood in my backyard at 6:30 a.m., squinting at the sky, wondering what my neighbors thought. But by day 2, I noticed I felt more alert earlier in the day. By day 3, I woke up before my alarm. The mechanism is simple. You're telling your brain when day starts. And once you anchor that signal, everything else falls into place. Strategy 2. Exercise or movement. Your brainstem has a direct superhighway of neuronal connections to your circadian clock, and physical movement is one of the most potent signals you can send. It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be a full workout. Even 10 minutes of jumping jacks, a brisk walk, or bodyweight squats will activate this pathway. The key is to do it early, ideally stacked with your light exposure. Go for a morning walk outside, and you're hitting 2 zeitgebers at once. This is the ideal combo. When you move your body in the morning, you're signaling to your circadian system that you're active, awake, and ready to engage with the day. This phase advances your clock, meaning it shifts your natural wake time earlier. I started combining my morning sunlight with a 15-minute walk around the block. Nothing crazy, just movement plus light. And the compounding effect was undeniable. I wasn't dragging anymore. My energy was front-loaded into the morning, exactly where I wanted it. Before we go any further, I want to pause for something important. None of what we've been talking about matters if we don't have the energy and clarity to actually implement it. We all know what it feels like to wake up exhausted. No energy, poor focus, and zero motivation. We also know what it feels like when we get good, restful sleep, targeted therapy, and the right supplements. I've personally tested more things than you can imagine. I'm like your personal guinea pig. Everything I have listed in the description below is science-backed and extensively tested. And if you grab anything through my links, you'll be supporting this channel at zero cost to you. Thanks for taking a look. Now let's get back to it. If this is helping, please hit that like button so more guys can find this when they need it most. And drop a comment. What time are you currently waking up? And what time do you want to wake up? No judgment. Just curious where you're starting from. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The first 2 zeitgebers, light and movement, are non-negotiable, but the next 2 amplify the effect and lock in your new rhythm faster. Strategy 3. Caffeine timing. Most guys drink coffee the moment they wake up, thinking it helps them start the day. But here's the truth about caffeine that changes everything. Your cortisol, your natural wake-up hormone, peaks about 30 to 45 minutes after you wake up. If you drink caffeine during that cortisol spike, you're not adding much benefit. You're just riding the wave you already had. Worse, you're building tolerance faster, meaning you'll need more caffeine over time to get the same effect. The smarter approach is to delay your first cup of coffee by 60 to 90 minutes after waking. Let your natural cortisol do its job. Then, when it starts to dip, bring in the caffeine to sustain your alertness. There are 3 optimal windows for caffeine based on your core body temperature rhythm, which follows your circadian clock. First window, 60 to 90 minutes after waking. This locks in morning alertness. Second window, about 3 hours after waking, right when most people hit their first energy dip. Third window, roughly 11 hours after waking, but only if you're planning to exercise or need a late afternoon performance boost. Beyond that, caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours, so anything after 2 or 3 p.m. can interfere with your sleep onset later. Here's how to apply it. Set your wake time. Let's say 6 a.m. Wait until 7 or 7:30 a.m. for your first coffee. Have a second cup around 9 or 10 a.m. if needed. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. unless you're training. When I started delaying my first coffee, I was skeptical. I thought I'd be useless without it, but the opposite happened. I felt more naturally alert in the morning, and my coffee actually worked better when I did drink it. The afternoon crash I used to blame on lunch was gone. Small shifts, massive results. Strategy 4, food intake and social interaction. These are secondary zeitgebers, but they still matter. Eating breakfast tells your peripheral clocks, the circadian timers in your liver, gut, and muscles, that it's daytime. Skipping breakfast or doing intermittent fasting that pushes your first meal to noon can delay these clocks, creating internal misalignment. If your goal is to become an early riser, eat something within an hour or 2 of waking. It doesn't have to be huge. Even a small meal works. Social interaction is the same principle. Talking to another person, even a quick conversation or playing with your dog, activates social and emotional circuits that reinforce wakefulness. It's a subtle signal, but it adds to the stack. Now here's the practical 3-day protocol that ties this all together. Set your alarm for your target wake time. Let's say it's 6 a.m., even if you normally wake up at 9. Commit to this for 3 days straight, no matter how tired you are. Day 1 will be rough. You might have only gotten 5 hours of sleep. That's okay. Get up anyway. Immediately stack as many zeitgebers as possible. Go outside, get sunlight, move your body, delay your coffee for an hour, eat breakfast, and interact with someone. Push through the afternoon drag. You'll feel tired, maybe even exhausted. Do not nap longer than 20 minutes, and do not overload on caffeine after 2 p.m. Let yourself feel sleepy earlier in the evening. This is your body phase advancing. Go to bed at your naturally earlier bedtime. You might fall asleep at 9 or 10 p.m. instead of your usual midnight or 1 a.m. Let it happen. Day 2, repeat. Same wake time, same stack. You'll feel slightly better because you got more sleep the night before. Day 3, your circadian clock has shifted. You'll wake up at or before your alarm, feeling more rested than you have in weeks. The mechanism is simple. You're overriding your old rhythm with consistent, powerful signals. Your suprachiasmatic nucleus adapts within 48 to 72 hours if the inputs are strong enough. This is not a month-long process. This is 3 days of deliberate effort. But here's the bonus hack that most people never hear about, and it's one of the most powerful tools for protecting your new rhythm: the evening sunlight protocol. Viewing sunlight in the late afternoon or at sunset, even for just 5 to 10 minutes, adjusts the sensitivity of your retinal cells. A 2022 study in Scientific Reports confirmed this. When you expose your eyes to the warm, low-angle light of sunset, your retina becomes less sensitive to bright artificial light later in the evening. This means that when you watch TV or use your phone at night, those screens suppress your melatonin about 50% less than they would if you hadn't gotten that evening light exposure. It's essentially a Netflix inoculation. You're pre-adapting your eyes so that artificial light doesn't wreck your sleep as much. I started doing this by stepping outside around 6 or 7 p.m. just for a few minutes, looking toward the horizon as the sun went down. It became one of my favorite parts of the day, a moment to reset before the evening, and the sleep benefit was real. I could watch a show or read on my phone without feeling wired for hours afterward. The flip side is equally critical. Bright light after 9:30 or 10 p.m. phase delays your clock, pushing your natural sleep time later. Every time you scroll through your phone under bright overhead lights late at night, you're acting like a shift worker. You're telling your brain it's still daytime. This is why so many guys can't fall asleep until 1 or 2 a.m. They're stuck in a cycle of late light exposure, late sleep, late wake times, and they don't even realize they're doing it to themselves. Now, let's address the genetic piece, because I don't want to pretend everyone is the same. There are genuine genetic night owls, people with polymorphisms in their clock genes that make them feel best sleeping from 1 to 3 a.m. and waking from 10 a.m. to noon. There are also genuine morning larks, people who naturally crash at 8 or 9 p.m. and wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. But most people fall in the typical range. Sleep onset around 10 p.m. to midnight, wake time around 5:30 to 8 a.m. This protocol works for shifting anyone within their genetic range. If you're a true night owl, you're not going to become a 5 a.m. person, and you shouldn't try. But you can shift earlier within your natural window, maybe from 2 a.m. and 10 a.m. to midnight and 7 a.m. The principle is the same. And here's the deeper truth that ties this all together. Mastering your sleep and circadian rhythm is the single highest leverage self-improvement habit you can build. Everything else compounds from this. Your workouts are better because your testosterone and growth hormone peak during deep sleep. Your mental clarity is sharper because your brain clears adenosine and metabolic waste while you sleep. Your emotional regulation improves because your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that manages impulses and decisions, depends on sleep to function. Even your discipline and your ability to show up in relationships are downstream of how well you sleep. Neuroplasticity, the process by which your brain rewires itself and learns new skills, happens almost entirely during sleep. Your unconscious mind organizes information through symbols and dreams, integrating your experiences and preparing you for the next day. The "I'll sleep when I'm dead" mindset isn't tough. It's actively counterproductive. High performers win by prioritizing rest, not by ignoring it. When you combine all four zeitgebers, bright light exposure, exercise, strategic caffeine timing, and food plus social interaction, you're not grinding harder. You're working with your biology. You're telling your circadian clock exactly when to be awake and when to shut down. And within 3 days, your body listens. This is how men take control of their energy, their focus, and their lives. Not by fighting their nature, but by understanding it well enough to steer it. Drop a comment. Which zeitgeber are you starting with tomorrow? Number 1, morning sunlight. Number 2, early movement. Number 3, delayed caffeine. Or number 4, the evening sunlight hack. Let me know where you're beginning. Well, that's it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, please be sure to give it a like and maybe even subscribe to Deeper Dudes. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. It all helps the channel more than you know. And it also tells us that we should make more content like this. We post videos every other day that tackle real challenges men face. Remember, struggling doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. The fact that you took time to watch this means you're ready for something better. Thanks again for watching and for checking out all the amazing products in the description below. They could jumpstart your healing journey. Catch you in the next one. Deeper Dudes. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, keep thriving.